Hello, IEAP-3 communication students. Welcome to PUC Online Classroom. I'm Mark Browne, and today we're going to be talking about models of advice, necessity, and prohibition. This will be a supplementary lesson to your regular lessons. Okay, so models can be used to give advice, rules, or warnings, okay? Should and must are modal verbs. Have to performs the same function, okay? Now, modal verbs come before the base form of the verb. So let's have a look at this. You should exercise at the gym. You as a subject, should or must, and then exercise being the base form of the verb, okay? You should exercise at the gym, okay? And for another example, you must write the exam today, okay? Now, for giving advice, the modal should is used to offer advice and suggestions about being more successful, okay? For example, you should finish your university degree. Now, let's talk about expressing necessity. The modal must, which is stronger than should, is used to explain laws and rules that are absolutely necessary for people to follow. Let's look at the example. You must wear a helmet when riding a bicycle in Canada, okay? So that's the law in Canadian provinces. You must wear one. You don't have a choice, okay? Now, use do not have to explain that something is not necessary. For example, you do not have to wear a helmet when riding a bicycle in some countries. So that would mean there is no law saying you have to wear a helmet when riding a bicycle, such as in Cambodia, okay? Now, expressing prohibition. If you give a warning or prohibit someone from doing something, use should and must with not and the base form of the verb. Okay, let's look at a couple of examples here. You should not eat too much sugar. Okay, so that's not a law or anything. It's just, a good idea to not eat too much sugar. And then for the other example, you must not drive through red lights. So that's something that you cannot do by law, okay? Okay, let's do our first exercise today. So what we're going to do is you're going to read each model and explain the use of each model. Okay, let's look at the example. You should get up earlier in the morning if you want to get more things done. So how do we explain the use of this model? Well, we could simply say advice, but not necessary. Okay, so let's look over the 4 sentences I want you guys to do. All right, so you must have a passport to travel to other countries. Explain the use of the model in that sentence. Number 2, you should go to bed earlier. Explain the model in that sentence. And number 3, you must not smoke in this restaurant. And number 4, you should apply for a teaching job. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to read these sentences again and explain how the models are being used in each one. All right, so let's look at number 1 again. You must have a passport to travel to other countries. Well, this one we could say something as simple as a rule that's absolutely necessary. All right? A rule that's absolutely necessary. Number 2, you should go to bed earlier. What could we say about that one? Well, I think for this one we can simply say advice, but not necessary. All right, and let's have a look at number 3. You must not smoke in this restaurant. So for this one, well, we could say something as simple as prohibition, not allowed. All right, and for the last one, you should apply for a teaching job. So for this one, we could say advice, making a suggestion. Okay, I'll see you in a couple of minutes for the next exercise. Okay, let's do our last exercise for today. What I want you to do is write one affirmative statement and one negative statement for each topic using modal verbs. Okay, let's look at the example. So here we have the topic cycling. So we could say something like, you should ride your bicycle to work every day. That would be advice. Or, you must not ride your bicycle without wearing a helmet. Okay? So what I'd like you to do now is have a look at these two topics. We have one, smoking in restaurants, and another, renting a house. So for each one, write one affirmative statement and one negative statement using modal verbs. Okay, let's try these now. Smoking in restaurants. Well, what could we say? Well, we could say something like, you should go outside if you want to smoke. We could say that, so that would be advice. You should go outside if you want to smoke. Or if we could do this. You must not smoke in this restaurant. Okay, so you must not smoke in this restaurant. That would be a rule. Okay, now for the other topic, renting a house. So what could we say for that? Well, we could say you must pay your rent on time. Okay, so again, you must pay your rent on time. That would be something that you must do. Okay, what else could we say? Okay, we could say something like, you don't have to pay your rent in Cambodian currency. Okay, again, you don't have to pay your rent in Cambodian currency. Okay, so it's just kind of up to you. You can pay it in American currency if you want. Okay, that's it for today. Well, that's all for today. I hope you all learned something valuable. So stay safe and enjoy your studies on Online PUC Classroom.